What's going on, movie goers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to Zero Productions. Creed 3, you guys. I saw Creed 3 yesterday, and let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of this Rocky franchise. I'm a big fan of these Creed films. What Ryan Coogler did with that first film, and Stephen Caples with the second film, and now Michael B. Jordan, his directorial debut for Creed 3. Amazing. 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 That's an understatement to me. A understatement. And not only that, it's killing it critically and it's killing it at the box office. Huge. Plus $100 million this opening weekend, you guys. The biggest in the Rocky and Creed franchise opening weekend. It's word of mouth. It's a great film. And people are going out to see it. It dethroned Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium at the box office, you guys. Ant-Man and the Wasp has only been out for, 3 weeks? That's a whole nother story. It looks like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium won't even break $500 million, you guys. That's a whole nother story. But let's talk Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan did a wonderful job directing this film. For his first film that he directed, my God, you can definitely tell this was a passion project for Michael B. Jordan. Not only did he direct it, but he starred in it as well. Performances from Tessa Thompson to Jonathan Majors. Everybody was so damn good in this movie. The story, the boxing in this movie has probably been the best boxing we've ever seen in any boxing movie. And that's just facts. I love that Michael B. Jordan is a huge anime person. So he incorporated that into the boxing elements of this film. And it showed. From Dragon Ball Z and, all the other animation that he loves. It really showed. Like, I was super impressed with the boxing elements of this film. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is great. This is entertaining. This is exhilarating. And it looks so good. Did you guys know that Creed 3 is the only sports movie to be filmed in IMAX? I need more sports movies filmed in IMAX. But that's the crazy part. We don't really get sports movies anymore. Sports movies are a dying genre. So seeing Creed 3 come out and be so successful, it's so exciting to me. It really is. And I really want to talk about the emotional elements of this movie and the relatable character moments, the relatable characters. I loved Creed's daughter. Adonis's daughter and Bianca's daughter. Loved her. Adorable. One of the highlights of the movie. She's deaf. She's mute. So there's a lot of sign language in this film, which I love that they incorporated it. I love it so much. It was so powerful. It just elevated the movie that much more in my eyes. And I was like, wow, are we sensing that we could get like a Creed 4 with the daughter potentially becoming a pro boxer? That would be very interesting. Very interesting. And then, you have Jonathan Majors, you guys. Jonathan Majors is a force to be reckoned with. He is so good in this movie. The backstory between, Damien and Adonis was so powerful. Just the opening sequence alone with the Dre, the Dr. Dre music, it was so powerful. I was like, my God. They were essentially brothers, man. And there was one thing that got me so shocked. I was like, my God. So he was in prison or in jail for 15, 18 years? He's older than, Adonis. They grew up together. They would box, so they had that brotherhood relationship and they got into some kind of trouble. And, Adonis got away, essentially leaving Damon to get in trouble and doing the jail time. But the whole backstory of Leon and how this guy was their foster parent and how he used to abuse them terribly. And I can understand why Adonis didn't tell anybody about it. He didn't tell his wife. He didn't tell Bianca because it was just something he wanted to get away from. So he got away from Damien and he got away from Leon in that past, right? And his mom. But when you find out that, he didn't intentionally abandon Damon. His mom was hiding the letters that Damon was sending to Adonis, I was like, man, this is sad. They were, like I said, they were brothers. There was that brotherhood element to them. And you can understand the motive for Damien and why he was so pissed off at Adonis. Like, nah, you abandoned me, man. Like, I did everything for you. We were like brothers, and you never, not one kind of phone call, no, not one visit, nothing. I was like, man, so I understand where Damien was coming from. I understand the resentment. And when they first come to screen together, you know, when Damien comes out of prison, it was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. Jonathan Majors is exquisite. His ability to really portray these characters at full potential and really do great acting with just facial features and, you know, the eye contact and losing eye contact and his body language was so good. I was like, this is great. Like, this is really, really good. I was just really impressed with Jonathan Majors, man. He was definitely one of the highlights of this film for me. And you guys, there were a lot of highlights of this movie. A lot of highlights in this movie that I loved so much. Now, with Rocky not being in this film, you know, I felt like it could have elevated the movie a little more. But I understand that Sly has some problems with, you know, the owner, and he didn't particularly like the story, a little bit too dark for his sentiments, which I was like, okay, that's cool. That's the way you feel, but you're just a side character now. This is no longer your story, Rocky, like at all. This is Adonis's story. And, you know, sometimes these stories, black stories, aren't all sunshine and rainbows. So I was like, I was kind of bothered by his comment the other day I read on a Variety or Deadline. I was like, come on now, like, really? You know, you didn't agree with the, with the story. So like, you were like, I'm cool off that. I don't want to be in it. Like, come on, dude. Like, really? So that kind of got me, like, you know, it rubbed me the wrong way, or so to say. You know, and not that like I said, that wasn't the only reason why he wasn't in it. You know, there's a whole legal battle right now with the rights to the Rocky franchise, and you know, it's crazy right now. But everything about this movie, the training montages, the story of Damon, and you know, him and Adonis, and how he's trying to help him, and how Damien, you know, backstabbed him on purpose. I was like, oh shit! Like when all that stuff started to unravel. You know, when they're at the label party or whatever, and, you know, Drago gets hurt. It was all intentional. Damon playing that shit because he wanted to be the world champion. He wanted a shot at the title. And I loved the fact that the underdog story was so important, just like how it is to every Rocky film. There's always an underdog. The first Rocky film, Rocky was an underdog to Apollo. You know, Adonis was an underdog in the first Creed film. And now there's Damon. He's the underdog. He's old. He just got out of prison. He's had, you know, trouble. Oh, he's the underdog. But boy, when it was time for him to shine and him to start boxing, when he boxed that one guy, I forget his name, man, yo, he beat the brakes off him. And, you know, a part of me was like, Adonis was scared to even risk it because he knew just how great of a boxer Damien was. He was just like, oh, man, I don't know if I want to do this. You know, this next guy's going to be, you know, he's the champion. I don't know if, you know, he's fighting Drago. I was just like, yo, that shit was crazy. It was insane. And the emotional depth that this film really captured between brotherhood, friendship, or even between Bianca and Adonis or his mom. Oh, my God. His mom, you guys. Woo! A lot of emotions ran high. It was so sad that, you know, she ended up having a stroke. And, you know, she needed a lot of care. And, you know, when Adonis kind of yelled at her, it hit me, like, emotionally, because he was so frustrated. He was upset that she would hide all these letters from Damien from him because she wanted him away from his past. She wanted him to move on. But Adonis didn't see it that way, you know, and then his mom ended up having another stroke. And I was just like, oh, my God, no, this can't be it. And when she died, oh, my God. And just that scene, how she was calling him Apollo, and he was, oh my God, it was hitting me. The feels was just running through my body. And I was just, I can't do this back. Yeah, I can't do this. It was so powerful. So powerful. I did not expect his mom to die. I did not. And you know what? I was just like, holy shit, I need a breather. Let me drink my Coke. You know, it was so sad. But, you know, the third act of, you know, Adonis and, you know, Damien, you know, how he came out of retirement. And that's one thing I really liked about this film. You know, we got to see the first fight of Adonis going up against in Creed. In the first Creed film, he fought that one dude. I forget his name. And then, you know, his last fight going into retirement, he fought him again. And I just love that whole elements of, him waiting for the right moment, and he's seeing these, okay, he's weak right here. Okay, I'm going to take these punches, but I'm doing it for a reason. And man, it was so good. And, he went into retirement and he was done. He was all about promoting other boxers, helping other boxers. I love that whole element to this story. I thought it was great. And then, coming out of retirement to fight Damian for the title shot because of, how snaky Damian was to him and how he went behind his back and how he was talking so much shit to the media, calling him a fraud, things like that. He was like, okay, it's on, dude. And when he was on ESPN and then Damian called in, oh my God, tensions were so high. He's like, all right, let's do this, man. We're gonna fight. But I will say that this is probably the weakest training montage out of all the Creed films. First Creed film had a wonderful training montage. The second one was great when he was in the desert. I feel like this one was a little bit too fast paced. They could have done a little bit better with the training montage in this third Creed film. And that's not taking away anything from the film because it was still exquisite. It was still really entertaining. It was still top dog to me, you guys. But I ultimately really love this film. And you know what? I put it's up there with the first Creed film for me, you guys. It's literally like borderline. It's definitely better than the second one, but it's like borderline. And I just can't believe how well Michael B. Jordan how well he did for his directorial debut. He did wonderful. Wonderful. I love the cinematography, certain shot elements I really liked. It was just, I was just blown away, you guys. And I can't wait to see what happens in spin-offs or in the fourth Creed film if they do decide to do it, if Michael B. Jordan decides to direct more. But I'm really stoked for the Creedverse because right now it's top dog. It's 3 for 3, and I'm really impressed. Arguably the greatest sports trilogy of all, the only sports trilogy when you really think about it. I mean, how many sports films actually get like sequels? Remember Titans? No. The Replacements? No. Sandlot? No. Only like legit like Rocky movies have sequels. See, that's like the only sports movies that really have sequels. But I am super stoked. I can't wait for what the future holds to it, man. It was great seeing, Damian and, Adonis at the end of the film talk to each other after the fight, after he ended up beating him. And, just to see them, kind of apologize to each other. And Damian understand and realize, and it wasn't your fault. This was my fault. I had the gun. This all could have been avoided if he didn't have that gun. So good. But post your comments down below, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about Creed 3. Thoughts and opinions. Where do you rank it in the Rocky franchise? Where do you rank it in the Creed franchise? Post your comments down below and let me know what you guys think. Peace.